I love to see that. When we talk about growth, when we talk about trust, that's one of the introductions that I love about Uncle Neely. You see Coach Prime saying, "How does this man gain this access? It's trust." Tell me what does Coach Prime mean to you as a person, and what does he mean to you professionally? And I know that's a tricky question because I ain't trying to make you go there, but if you go there, you go there.
Man, it's not tricky. It's just how much time you got. Because
Yeah,
one of the things I have admired about Coach Prime is that he is a waymaker and opportunity giver, and he loves an underdog. And so when
yeah,
he sees talent out there that may not be getting the opportunity it should be getting, he appreciates hard work, appreciates loyalty and trust. He puts you in a position to have that opportunity. Now, one thing he's not going to do is give you anything, not going to hold your hand through it, not going to do the
right.
work for you, but he will give you that opportunity based on what he's seeing when you don't even know he's looking. And so I wouldn't be where I am today in this space, without him. And part of that trust factor is, man, there are moments in your life, Chris, where somebody has the ability or the information to hurt you.
Yeah,
And by hurting you, it would profit them, but they choose not to do so because they value the relationship over some personal gain. And so that's how Coach Prime sees it, and he knows. I tell him all the time he's just blessed with a gift of discernment because
hmm,
he can weed out BS real quick, and so
yeah,
he knows to have a good core people around him who are not yes men. He and I disagree often, but he understands that when I disagree with him, it's from a point of my set of experiences and which are
yes,
different from his. And so he appreciates that. He doesn't shun it. What he doesn't like, is having yes men around him who just say, hey, whatever you think, boss. Like he would tell you, you don't work for me, you work with me.
yeah,
And we're in this thing together. I know I'm the head coach and I'm going to get the blame, but I want you in this process, need you in this process. So never go out there telling people you work for me. People need to know you work with me. And that kind of leadership style, makes you want to run through a brick wall for a guy, makes you want to stay late
absolutely.
and go early for a guy because you see the sacrifices that not only he makes and is made to be there, you see the investment that he's made in you. There's no way I would have been able to, leave a career in public policy and government, for a job in media, where I'm self-employed with a own media company now without him pushing it and even
Yeah,
encouraging me and telling me, look, man, God got you. Like he wouldn't have brought you to this fork in the road if he didn't have you ready and have your back for it. So Coach Prime has just been instrumental in the process, man. But like you quoted, and like he says, it starts with trust and relationships. And one
yeah,
of the things he tries to tell people all the time is, stop spending all this time investing in things and invest in your relationships because your relationship's going to be there for you when things are no longer around.
trust is so important, man. It's so vital to relationships. Growing up in church, I was the pastor's adjutant. So I understand what trust means. You're going to have access to stuff that, like you said, that could ruin people. That could, if you put them out on Front Street, you have everything to gain. Even going back to last summer, I know Dukes has already given you your props. So many people have given you your flowers that you already knew what was going on with Coach Prime, and you didn't say anything to anybody. So that trust, um, how did that even come about? Like, is that something that you just have always been? Did you learn it? Like,
Well, the way I was raised, Chris, I appreciate you asking that and the way you framed it. It's really, my parents. And I can
mhm,
remember my father telling me this a long time ago when I was 8, 9 years old, that just because somebody tells you something, it doesn't mean it's your business to tell it.
mhm,
And because some people are coming to you for advice or to confide in you or to vent. And so just because Chris told me something, if he didn't give me permission to go out and tell other people, he was just telling me that. And
mhm,
and where it first started was also with the health issues when Coach Prime was at Jackson State,
yeah,
and everybody was saying that he was off interviewing at other schools, and this was year one, off interviewing at other schools, and I knew he was in the hospital, and I
yeah,
knew I had a sports show, but I never told people even to defend him what was actually going on because it was a private matter, and it was
right,
his story to tell. And one of the first things he said to me is when he got out the hospital was how much He appreciated it because whether it was me trying to boost numbers up or whether just trying to get the people who were negative and tackling him with the truth, I could have easily just said, no, this is where he is and this is what's going on. And so that was the first, domino, if you will, brick to build the foundation of our trust is that he saw, this guy can have information and won't use that information publicly, even if it would have helped me. And because I would tell the world that just because someone has a public job doesn't mean they're not entitled to preserve their private moments. And
There
one
you
of
go.
those chiefly is health,
Yeah.
And so sometimes we see people, and because of the nature of their position, we think we're entitled to know everything about them. And that's just not the case.
Man. Coach Prime has done so much for so many people. I'm turning 40 this year. And because of his health challenges last year, I was going to, of course we say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done, and it never happens. But I've legit made plans to, by the time I turn 40, go to the doctor. That's my 40th birthday present to myself, is to get myself checked out, head to toe. And it's because of Coach Prime. Shouts out to him. I want to give him his flowers. But speaking about Coach Prime, he is a football coach. And the Colorado Buffs, they have an upcoming season. Quarterback is Juju Lewis, but they've added so many pieces around that team, and it seems that this team is going to be better. There's been changes on the staff. We went through portal season. What is your overall thoughts of the Colorado Buffs, and what are your thoughts headed into the season?
I tell you what, man, before I answer that, I got to rewind on something when you were giving coaches flowers to tell you about his attitude. And I think it's going to mirror your next question about this season. When he first shared with me his cancer diagnosis, even then he was making it about other people. He literally said to me, which speaks to you, and you saying you're going to go on this regimen and getting checked out at least annually on your birthday. He said to me, he's like, Neely, like we have this following because of football, but everybody doesn't like football. Everybody doesn't watch football. But I don't care where you are in the world, cancer has impacted you some kind of way.
Some kind of way, for sure.
And so when we begin to tell this cancer story and defeating this cancer, that's when we're going to really start to reach more people, because it is about reach. It's not about me. It's about who we can help by sharing what we have gone through. And he even once confided in me the same thing about his NFL career, that once upon a time, he would be concerned about and talking to God saying, man, you've blessed me with all this talent, and I use this talent in recognition of you, but I don't get to stay places. Like I didn't want to leave Atlanta. I didn't want to leave San Francisco. I didn't want to leave Dallas. And he says what God put on his heart was that I'm always going to send you somewhere where you can reach more people. And so that's just his attitude about everything. It's like this stuff happens to us so we can reach more people and more people can see him, capital H, through us. And to answer your question about the outlook for the season, I think that's the same way. I think that 3-9 is going to bring more eyes on the program than we had the Heisman year with Travis Hunter, the Johnny Unitas year with Shador. Because let's just face it, Chris, some people are going to tune in because they want to see the 3 go to 2. Some people are going to tune in because they want to see it go back to 9 wins like it's been before. But either way, people are going to be tuning in. And either way, Coach Prime is going to be being Coach Prime. And people are going to see the turnaround that was made in this program when you invest, in character. And that's just not players. That's with coaches as well and staff. And when you invest with bringing the right people in, to fit what you're trying to accomplish. Because he will tell you, and he said it before, that the accountability starts and stops with him, and that he missed on some of the people they selected last year. And we can take a step. We can take a step back and say that's because he wasn't able to be around. But either way, he accepts that responsibility. And he said this year, everything that comes in this door, I'm going to approve personally. It won't get in without my first say and my final say. And I think all of that is going to lead to a better building, a better locker room, a better performance on the field, and a better scoreboard. And so I'm supporting him and believing him when he says 3-9 will never happen again in Colorado under his watch.
Man, if he doesn't have any more supporters, he has a supporter right here in Memphis, Tennessee. I love what he's been doing with the Buffs. I love what he's been doing, even at Jackson State. There's a there's a certain aura, and I think about Dave Chappelle when he talks about Rick James.
Yeah.
That aura. Coach Prime has an aura to him that draws people in. He's a magnet. He draws people
Mhm.
in. So I'll post on Saturdays, let's go Buffs, and people are like, yeah, they're gonna lose, and it's like, I mean, it happens. I'm a fan
Yeah.
of Coach Prime.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of LeBron James. Wherever LeBron goes, that's where I'm going. Wherever Coach Prime goes, that's where I'm going. So I definitely believe that this is going to be a really good season for them. I cannot wait until you all get up there and get in spring camp, because I'm tapping into the videos. And one thing that you always say, Uncle Neely, when we talk about the portal, is the reason why people panic so much about the portal when it comes to Colorado is because we have the access. So we get to know these players. So we
Yeah.
get to feel more. It feels like, our little nephew is going away, but you have to be happy for them and understand that this is the business that we're in. So again, another thank you, because we get to have these feelings, and that's what sports, that's what storytelling, that's what content is about. It's supposed to make you feel.
Amen. I mean, perfectly said. If you're not catching feelings from it while we're doing it, it's supposed to have some kind of motivation to you. And so I get it as one of those content creators, one of those guys putting things out. That through my lens, I've helped you learn about this particular player, and through
Mm-hmm.
my lens, you get to see him depart. But the biggest thing for me in that testimony is that how is it Coach Prime can find a kid that Chris Moore has never heard of, and
Mm-hmm.
then 2 years later, Chris Moore is sad the guy's leaving. And the guy's
Yeah.
leaving for more money, not less money, for more opportunity, not less
Yeah.
opportunity. And so if Coach Prime wasn't able to select, if Coach Prime wasn't able to coach, if Coach Prime wasn't able to develop, how is that happening? It's happening because he can select. It's happening because he can coach and he can develop, and he increases the value of people who come around his sphere, and in particular those who work at it. So when you see guys leave, I understand from the fan base the emotional tug, but you also have to be aware of that this is just the nature of modern day college
Yep.
football. That toothpaste ain't going back in the tube. This
Mm-mm.
is what it is. Every year, every 2 years, you're going to go through this again. But I think that no one has proven since the start of the portal, which coincided with his college coaching career beginning at Jackson State, no one has been able to utilize the portal the way Coach Prime has and maintain and grow from it. So I have no expectation other than the best indicator for future performance is past performance. So like I tell him and tell the world, I'm going to always bet on 21 Black.